Hello, game changers. I strongly believe that all of you seated here are born to change the world. Change the world in your own little unique ways to make our lives around us and the world around us a better place to live and, more importantly, to thrive. Well, I am a curious person, very curious. So I'm curious to know from all of you seated here with a thundering yes or possibly a nay, or just a show of hands, how many do you believe that you can change the world, or at least you are about to change the world? Wow, I think quite a few of us. And I'm glad that this is my yay, and I am one among you who loves to change the world, be a game changer. In my own little unique ways, quirky ways, and quirky methods. And I'm here to talk to you about my quirky method of changing the world. So, let me take a step ahead and shed some light on being this game changer. What is this changing the world cliche that I'm talking about? What is this game changer hashtag that I'm harping about for some time? Well, changing the world or being a game changer is a long journey. It's not a stop. It's not a final destination. This journey, in fact, has several pit stops. Pit stops that allow us to pause, to reflect, to stand, to imbibe, to digest, to think, and most importantly, to observe, so that we can continue on this journey with even greater force. Yes, I said the word observe. And that's precisely what I want to share with you today. Changing the world by observation, or as I call it, research by observation. Let's observe, reflect around us. Let's take the world of communications, how we interact with each other, something that we take as a given. We take it for granted. Well, it started with landline telephones, at least in my house and maybe the houses in some of your parents. We then transitioned to a cordless phone. Today, we have smartphones that we swipe and we don't no longer push buttons. Gradually, and very soon in fact, we will have satellite telephones and satellite internet, which will make the streaming of your favorite match or your favorite concert seamless. No longer disruptions. No longer rains would disrupt that. What does this tell you? Someone or a few set of people out there observed, researched, and changed the world of telecommunications, something that we take for granted today. It's become an important event in history for us to enjoy it in our living lives. And that, my friend, I want to share one of the most important pit stops in that journey of changing the world. I call this, as I said earlier, research by observation. So, this journey has three important questions that we all must seek answers to. We may not have the right answers all the time, but an attempt is way more powerful than the end result always. First question, where do we go to change this world? Question number two, what do we do when we reach there to change the world? And the third question, how do we reimagine the world around us after we have observed what we observe? With, of course, rapt attention and an objective mindset. Of course, the passion to change the world is a given. I'm going to break my talk in two parts. First is research. Well, Research is all around us, isn't it? Researching for your favorite vacation, researching for your favorite video game, researching for an engaging math tutor, researching for the next school or university, or even more probably serious, like researching what are the scientific phenomena around us, like some of the hard, pure scientists do. Researching about how societies interact and how human patterns play out. Research is all pervasive. Research has multiple lenses and research has multiple domains. The focus of what I'm going to share with you today is the lens of an entrepreneur, the lens of an innovator, the lens of someone who plays a small part in breakthrough products. As an early stage investor, as a professional, and as an entrepreneur, I'd like to share my framework of research. The context and the lens is entrepreneurship. And with that, how do we create breakthrough products for us, incredible services for us to enjoy, and memorable experiences? Research has two large families. One family is something called fundamental research. This is where all our scientists, social scientists, pure scientists, and medical scientists carry out breakthrough research on laws of physics, laws of chemistry, laws of quantum mechanics. The second family of research is closer to my lens and context, which is applied research. What is applied research? You take work done by fundamental researchers, translate them into a breakthrough product, a service, an experience. So, this then takes me to the second part of my framework, second part of my talk, which is observation. Ask yourselves, when was the last time you stood still and observed someone? When was the last time you stood still and observed action around you? Action at your home, action in your school, action at your workplace, just about anywhere. Did we ever take time off our hustle, our daily grind, to stay put, observe, and what do we do with this observation? What is most powerful about observation is it leads us to derive and discover insights. Insights about people, insights about places, insights about happenings around us. Insights is a very interesting combination of the left brain, which is your logical thinking, sequential thinking, something that you put an order to. Something, yes, you could call it cold-hearted, but it's also a blend of your right brain, which feels, which is chaotic. But with that chaos comes out the blend both of these types of brains to arrive at insights. So, to drive home my point, let me do a small exercise. Let's imagine history lessons, right? And let me ask you, how many here seated found history lessons to be daunting, challenging to remember those events? How many here found history lessons also to be boring? Well, quick show of hands or a yes. Well, quite a few there, right? I had my own struggle with history lessons, although I love history, right? Remembering those events, remembering the details of the wars and battles, the people involved in those wars and battles, and the most important thing, why did those events or wars happen? This why is actually called context. And in an entrepreneurial setting, research always has a context. Your observation should always have a context. Your insights should be overloaded with context, because with context, you can create meaningful outcomes. in the form of products, services, or experiences. Let's go back to our history lessons, right? What do I observe? There are two key players in a history lesson, be it in a school or a university setting. The first player is the teacher, the history teacher. I love my teachers, I love to teach, I love to talk. So, let's see. What are the struggles that the history teacher encounters while delivering a history class? The first, the history teacher has to herself or himself memorize those dates in the right sequence, in the right order. If you get the order wrong, well, it's no longer history, or maybe a new history in the making, right? BC, AD, 16th century, 1935, so many dates to remember in the right sequence. Second, the history teacher, I've observed, also struggles to recreate or to visualize those events, those wars. Imagine the place where the war took place, or how the invasion happened, or how did an emperor defend an invasion, or how did a civilization operate. So visualization is another struggle. With these two struggles, the teacher is actually struggling to get attention of the students. That brings me to the second key stakeholder in a history lesson, the students, learners. Students not only at school, university, but even a lot of adult students like ourselves and myself in this room. I love to study history even today. One reason I watch World War II in color multiple times. What are the struggles of the students? Similar. Remembering dates in the right order, putting context, why did that war happen, or how did that civilization actually exist? There are struggles on both sides of the stakeholding parties. So, I've been talking about struggles. These struggles are actually frictions, friction points, as we call them in research by observation in an entrepreneurial context. Entrepreneurs, innovators, and like most of us in this room who would love to change the world, we should spot for frictions for a task to be done. Any work that needs to get done flawlessly in the most efficient manner is a blockbuster product. So, if you channelize your research efforts and your observation around friction points, you are on a path to a breakthrough journey. Friction points. So, let's imagine the world of history lessons again. Let's reimagine. Now that we've understood the struggles of both parties, let's reimagine. Using technology derived out of some fundamental research done by fundamental scientists, we can create a three-dimensional image using holographic technologies or three-dimensional visual depth to say, for example, Mohenjo-daro, and understand how did that civilization actually operate. Our teachers, with their immense knowledge and research, can add context with audio and color, recolor the ruins, recolor the remnants, recolor the relics, making it easy for a student or a group of students to walk through that path of civilization. What we've just done in a short span is we've spotted frictions, we've derived insights, and we have tried to reimagine a history lesson by simply applying research by observation. I would now like to leave you with a few more questions, or perhaps thoughts, or maybe some more insights. Are you now more ready or more resolute to change the world around you? I would urge you to go back and start applying research by observation on an everyday basis. I would urge you to go back and spot frictions. I would urge you to go and find insights. Share with me your observations. Tell me, inspire me. And with that, I'm going to embark on my next journey of research by observation. Thank you.